Eric Watson here, freelance writer, player of games, writer of boards, recorder videos, and a tabletop role-playing aficionado. It has been a hot second since I've done a crafting stream. Man, how do you do this again? Welcome to the Monday edition of my bi-weekly behind-the-scenes DM-only live stream, Crafting the Deep, which I build, write, and prepare for our next session of Call from the Deep. If you're playing characters Gottwald, Max Sauber, or Toril, stream is not meant for you, but for the rest of you, welcome. We stream our D&D sessions live on YouTube every Friday. You can join our official Discord server with invite link in the description below. If you'd like to support the channel, please check out patreon.com/RogueWatson. For our campaign, we use Roll20. For streaming, I use OBS Studio. I'm back. I'm a little older, but still doing D&D. As you can see, I have done some work on our next session prep, because unfortunately a lot of the work that I have to do is just Roll20 art related, which is a pain in the ass. So I guess I should start at the beginning. We're in the Pirate Lord section of Call from the Deep, which is technically the start of chapter 4, I guess. Pirate Kings and Kraken Priests is what it's called. But before we get to Tentrix's floating lair and the Driftwood Docks section and take on Tentrix, I was going to sprinkle in the pirates lords, who are Tentrix's just kind of main generals and just good like mini bosses to fight for the party. And just I was interested in throwing them out into the world a little more so the party can interact with them. I should have probably done that earlier and seeded them up a little earlier, but instead I'm just going to kind of throw them all at the party at once. Basically, this will just be the Pirate Lord section of the adventure. And I'm using two different areas from Call from the Deep Chapter 3, which is going to be Omen's Isle and Nerino. These are two dungeons that come with the module, and they're kind of like the two that I think I liked the best in terms of what they had to offer. Out of the four pirate captains that are out in the world, the fifth one is back at Driftwood Docks. Scummer already attacked them in the tavern, so we did that one. And then we'll have the Storm Maiden at Omen's Isle. We'll have Dirge at Nerino. And then the fourth one, Desecratus, is just going to be a sea encounter, and we'll do a nice big kind of ship battle, the likes of which we really haven't seen yet in this campaign, in terms of having an enemy come upon the party and actually start and really forcing me to dive into the actual ship rules so we can see how that really works and have the party be able to use their full complement of things and just have that be one big like session combat encounter, I think. The Nerino section will be some dungeon crawling and some socializing. And then this one that I'm going to prep next, Omen's Isle, which is the name of the island, but the actual dungeon is called Ironhand Cairn, is going to be a traditional dungeon crawl, but it's going to be pretty small. So here's the original one. I just duplicated it in Roll20, and then I'm literally overlaying the existing map with some better art assets from Roll20. So this is what the original one looks like. It's a very small 5-room dungeon, but I think it's got a lot of fun little bits about it, and the entrance is actually on an island that's made up of a bunch of Fomorians, so those kind of mutant giant creatures that are currently being attacked by the Storm Maiden's crew, and then she went in with some other forces to kind of sneak in through a back way. So the party will be able to deal with the or really see this big combat going at the entrance. I'll have to do another map for that now that I think about it, though. And then they'll be able to go in and do this dungeon crawl in here. So what I've been doing is I just copied it, and then we've been dragging over some artwork to try and improve the experience. You can see the dynamic lighting layer is still here, but I'm probably going to have to futz with it a little bit because it's not going to be perfect everywhere. And in fact, I'm having a real challenging time trying to recreate the waterway. Get rid of the light layer. So I'm kind of making my own water path and hoping that'll just be good enough. But it looks really fucked up from our angle because we're seeing how the sausage is made. And, you know, obviously what I'll do is I'll hopefully can use the dynamic lighting to, you know, shore up and draw the edges and not have the party see any of that stuff. But the tricky part here is trying to recreate this underground river. The original one, by the way, I don't have to move that. I can just switch the tab. Has a bridge going across, but I thought it'd be a little more interesting if we throw a very simple, just physical challenge at the party, which is, hey, there's a cliff up here that's like 10 feet up. you need to cross it, and there's a really cold, kind of moderately rapid river going by. I think it's so funny how, as DMs, we think of like the big death trap stuff as being the big puzzles that parties have to figure out and worry about, and a lot of times they'll solve those very easily. Versus you just give them like a 10 or 20 foot pit, or just like a cliff they have to scale, just like something seemingly mundane, and all of a sudden that becomes like fucking Mount Everest for the party to deal with. This has happened so many times in my DMing career, and I love it every time because it's hard to tell what exactly is going to challenge the party at any one time. These are all, by the way, from like Gabriel Picard is my go-to artist for Roll20 assets. The Save versus Cave series, which is just a ton of different pieces, and I've been using just a lot of pieces from all these different rooms. I think Ruined Rooms is literally the one I'm using to create individual rooms and stairs and stuff. And then I've been trying to find, I think it's actually Vile Tiles Flooded Tunnels, which gives me a bunch of these river looking tiles. So I'm trying to, and thankfully they all thematically match with themselves, which is partly why I use this artist's work, because it's all very consistent art style. And that will hopefully allow me to create a decently uniform look, and at least enough to pass the old eyeball test. And the shitty thing is, it's not much fun, and maybe you guys enjoy it, I don't know. I feel like we've had to do this a lot in the crafting streams, right? I've had to sit down and just like pull a map together instead of talking about like any kind of prep work or planning work. This is still prep work, but it's not the kind of prep work I'd rather spend my time on. I'm trying to find a corner piece with a ledge, I think is what I need. Some of them have the river ending. That's not good. We need to have the river continuing, because there's a problem. So I was going to use this piece here and then have it expand out to a bigger area, but I'm having a trouble. Then I'm like, well, I don't got to worry about walls and all this shit. So what if we just kind of made this into another tunnel situation, and I just kind of have it go to a tunnel? I'll probably have to redo this all here and have just the sarcophagus like sitting here in this room. I know, I really need the amount of time that I spend on this. I really should be just getting into some better. I feel like you can get enough done with Roll20 to get by, but it's not necessarily enjoyable. I'm gonna resize this shit, make it fit. This does fit, right? I'm not going crazy. Well, the problem is this doesn't have a ledge. That's the problem. So it kind of looks like I'd have to draw the dynamic lighting and just kind of cut it off right there, I guess. Let me squeeze that one right there. There we go. But then we still need a connector piece right here, which they do have. I guess just hallways is what I need. I don't even need flooded tunnels anymore for that. Still looking for a curve. I need ledge with curve. Can I find ledge with curve? Somebody show me that one. Ledges straight. Ledges junction. Ledges corner. I need the ledge on the other side because I need the corner going up. That might work. How big is that piece? That could work, but then it shows the cliff up here and there's a cliff over here, so that's kind of wonky. That is going the right direction though. Everything needs to be smallerized. Oh, but then the river goes into my fucking building there. Damn it. Can I take that piece and then... The problem is I care too much, even though the party's barely going to see this shit. And I could draw dynamic lighting anywhere I want to just, like, really stop them from seeing anything. Let's delete that piece. If we just create... What does that one look That's kind of the same concept as that one. Okay. I need an extreme corner. It's almost perfect, except it runs into this building. Damn it. It's really impressive how they like mold together though when you fit them, right? It's like that is some map making magic. The fact that you can create these like individualized pieces and just throw them on top of each other and they just fit. That's really cool. But it's too damn big. And I can't quite get the magic working right there. All right, this can't go straight up. This piece is not gonna fucking work. It's not gonna work. So why don't we create a straight ledge first and then we can curve it. Right, that makes more sense. Just make a small straight edge ledge. Oh, there we go. There's like tiny pieces. Tiny pieces. Still smaller? Is that too small? The problem is I've got like a custom size thing going on now. Okay. So we could copy and paste that a couple times. Give us some length. I think. And then we can do the other piece. So now... Wait, you were always going the wrong direction? Did I delete the wrong one? I might delete the wrong piece. Damn it. I should have kept the other piece. Fuck. What was I doing? Just bring I3 to the top. Oh, I see. Yeah, I could have done that and just cut it off, I guess, at some point. The river is supposed to continue on to this side, but I'm not... I don't think I'm going to care that much. And I don't think I'm going to do the secret door thing here either. I don't think it's that interesting. What curve piece? There it was. I think this is the one I was using. Okay, so now if we do this thing, it does not run into the wall. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and delete. Delete those, and I'll just fuck with the dynamic lighting later. And then we can take this giant guy. To sneeze again. My fucking allergies been going crazy. Okay, now I see what you're talking about in terms of overlaying. Can't get that piece to match up. Maybe it's too small. Stretch it out. And then just cut it off there, I guess. So let's see what that looks like. Let's put you on the map layer. Put you guys all on the map layer. Yet. Damn it, I picked it up. Fuck. I haven't had to do this in a while, to be fair. But by God, I will complain every time I have to do it. Alright. You guys go to the map layer. Getting nightmares of doing Bronzo mine. Which pieces were these? Ah, look at that. Smart Eric locked everything. So I couldn't fuck with it accidentally. Let's see. This Needs to go to the front. Nope, I fucked that up because now I can't get to the other pieces. Shit. And if I send it to the back, I'll never find it again. So that works. Let's move you. Oh, wait, no, those pillars are still in the token layer. That's right. Okay, that's fine. Well, it might be the only thing I have to move then. Well, I have to move those alcoves. This guy was like there. And then, nope. We gotta pop these guys to the front. Can't target other piece. Son of a bitch. Let me target you. Shit, I really can't target it. Oh, no. Alright, that guy's to front. Same thing with that guy. To front. Shit. Lock position. Walk out of the way and go to front. Alright. You're all fired. So that guy's going there. This guy is going right there. Really don't want to move him again. This guy back. This is why I try to pick things that already have maps. Going right there. Lock his position. All right, so we go to the token layer. That looks tight as hell. All right, that'll work. This is just free floating. I don't think we need this anymore. Let's put these guys all to the front first. Then we send them to the map layer and they should stay in the front. Yeah, no, I like your idea. To have it flow under, that's perfectly fine. All right, but that looks good. So we've got our river. It does, Jason, but I lost my mind trying to make... In fact, I've got one here. This map does not fucking work for Roll20. Like, whoever made the dimensions of this map, it does not line up. And I was losing my mind trying to make it work through every size iterations. But, like look at these two hallways. They're supposed to be equidistant. They're not like that. Everything is not resized to whatever Roll20 sizes are. Like, I just lost my fucking mind trying to make this work. It's not gonna work. So I was like, Thanos, fuck it, I'll do it myself. I think I found like 2 maps, and Nerino has a similar problem where I'm probably gonna have to do that one myself as well. It is a bummer. I guess I didn't look and see if like DM's Guild had a packet or something of people that did the maps. I probably could have done that. Let's see. All right, so map layer. Maybe I just wanted to show off Gabriel Picard's excellent save versus cave series, which it is good. All right, I like this left side also. We've kind of rejiggered that. I think it's gonna work. Got the little ledge here. The river goes off screen. There's also a little bit here where this is... Oh, it's being kind of weird right here. This is supposed to be above this one. I don't know if we can tell that. I can't say it to front though, because that's in front. may have to redo as a player to see what it looks like. What it's supposed to be is it's supposed to be open right here. So the players can get down to here and see that it kind of has a river flowing 10 feet down. And then this is what I have to, I guess I'll just make this a tunnel. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't have to be this big wide thing. I don't think there's a, well, let's see, what is here actually? Iron Hand's Tomb. This all counts as Iron Hand's Tomb. First in this chamber. I mean, there's a big enough area to have a fight here. The bridge is magically trapped with a flesh to stone spell, DC 20, which is triggered when a creature walks onto the bridge. Well, that's pretty fucked up. I kind of got rid of the bridge without even knowing that was a thing on there. A flesh to stone spell? That's pretty nasty. Character with the passive wisdom perception of 12 or higher notice the words "never the easy path" etched into the bridge on the northern side. I believe you do get 2 saves for this one, right? So con save, it's restrained. And if you fail another con save, you are petrified. And then you're just fucked. Maintain your concentration on this spell for the entire possible duration, which, if it's magically trapped, I assume. Yeah, everybody loves instant death traps. So that kind of sucks. So I was going to get rid of the bridge entirely and just have it be flowing water here. Alright, so if I want a connecting tunnel piece, then I probably just need save versus cave, which is where? Got connector pieces we could do. They're all very ruiny looking. I guess this is the ruins one. I'm just looking for a regular tunnel, I think. Well, I guess maybe a transition. Is there a transition? That's connectors. That's like a, I don't know what that is. Tunnel connectors large. I want a transition from ruin to tunnel. Can we do that? I think there's something like that in there somewhere. Here we go. Tunnel to cave converter. It's gigantic. To make you a little bit smaller. The resolution, she suffers greatly. Oh. Dear God, that looks bad. Come on, why did we lock the... We didn't have to lock these. The little GM annotation thingies. Oh my goodness. Well, I apologize, but you can't be that big, man. You gotta be smaller. I need you to be slightly smaller without breaking. Slightly smaller. Ah, fuck. It looks bad. It looks real bad. Why? I want to make small, tight caves. People love adventuring in small, tight caves, right? Any of these? They're all big. Yeah, that's... I don't know why it's doing that. I could hide part of it. We could send that to the back. God, it looks so fucking bad. The resolution is just devastating. It like has to be this big or nothing. Do they have a small to big converter? Because maybe we could play around with that. This is... Okay, they do. Small to large. So we could do house. Doesn't give me a lot of room to work with. Sorry, I gotta scroll down. What if we back you up a little bit? Back it up a little bit. No, too far, too far. Shit. No, that guy needs to stay. That guy can stay. You're fine. Thank you. I was thinking there was a that's what she said joke in there somewhere. I'm trying a new thing where I don't drink coffee every evening. It sucks. I got in a bad habit. My body's like, it's caffeine time. Let's go. I'm like, no, man, come on. How are we feeling about this? It's not gorgeous. But it might not be horrible. Because I need to be able to line up the water here to here. In fact, can I tuck you? Is it better to tuck you above the water? Doesn't really matter. It looks the same either way. Actually, I can see the ledge. Yeah, the ledge transition looks fucked up here. But I gotta line the water up, so it's gotta be there. We might just put a rock here. Doesn't look bad. All right. That's probably the best we're going to hope for. I'm zoomed in at 140 right now, so players aren't going to be this zoomed in. They're going to be like here. It's I guess because I'm using flooded tunnels and this is save versus cave, I thought these would match a little smoother. But that's okay. We can deal with it. So we need I think the only thing I have left to do, fix it with a rock, is the actual chamber thing down here, which I don't think it's a separate room. This was all I5. And the sarcophagus is just chilling down here. So I can just do another room down here, I guess. Can we do just a random ass room? Can we do blank rooms? These are all tunnel pieces. I know we can do these. These are weird. It's only supposed to be in this kind of room anyway. Yeah, I don't like this. So we're going to use... I really just need like a dirt wall, which I think is going to be in a different tile set, unfortunately. I'm going to use like 4 different sets. This might be the original save versus cave. With some tunnel. This looks very dungeony. This looks like some very classic dungeon art. It's good shit. So I want to make another transition right here, but I'm running out of map. I can't do anything. I can't do much else. I am desperately running out of map here. So this needs to be just a very tiny room that I can somehow throw on here. All right, we want, these are, nope, those are too complicated. Save versus cave. There was one. There was it. Save, construction, save. Save versus cave, construction, save. The cutesy naming is beginning to become a burden at this point. Boy, here's your rocks, though. We got some major rocks. I got so many rocks, my Roll20 browser is like, that's too many rocks. The rock amount is excessive, sir. There we go. It's a big fucking rock. Big fucking rock. Blocking the path. Right there. Good job, rock. Good job, rock. Okay. These look like they would transition very nicely from that bottom path, but they're all humongous 10 by 10 rooms. Jesus, and they get bigger 15 by 15. Fuck. I need like a 2 by 3, man. Oh, these are also big. I guess there's nothing stopping me from just extending the map to the south. Like, who the fuck cares? I'm not going to see any of that anyway. Literally the smallest one is 10 by 10. I need just a... What are these? Tunnels? I mean, hell, I could put like a couple of those like one piece transition things and have that be a room if I wanted to. Oh, that's interesting. You're creating stairs using just like shadow tokens. Like these kind of pieces, these like, what do they call them? Overlay tunnel. Oh, that's still 3 by 6. Everything's so large. Huh. I thought this is the one that had tunnel end. Well, that's kind of what I need. I make it smaller without compromising the integrity of the thing. And then we can... Okay. That's not... Because they won't see the black. This is going to look so shitty when I'm actually doing... Oh, I'm sorry, I need to scroll down some more. On my end. But it's going to look hopefully not as shitty on their end. This thing likes to jump around on me. But then we can just plop that sarcophagus in here. Did I swallow that sarcophagus? Nope, there it is. Because I think... Well, I guess it could be a little bigger. So many that's what she said jokes. I am just full of these. This one did kind of paint me into a corner, but there was really not a whole lot of these junction pieces that had land going north to south and water going left to right. Like I'm playing a tile laying board game is what I think I'm playing. This is like fucking Nightmare Carcassonne right here. Yeah, see, I've got all these like kind of pieces, but they don't end. So I like the dead end one. We could just flip the sarcophagus going the other way and just make it so it's a tiny ass thing in here rather than having it go... Basically, instead of it being 15 across, it's only 5. So if we paint dynamic lighting correctly, this would just be the world's tiniest room. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's big enough for a sarcophagus, damn it, I think. Yeah, awkwardly, there's like not enough space. All right, what if we put that like here? But then a player token would look like this and be like Well, if I put it on the map layer, I guess it'd be okay. So now if someone was to scale the top of the cliff, they'd be there. That's not bad. And then I can pop my Sword Wraith Commander out. Because of course, you can't steal from sarcophaguses without sarcophagi. Or sarcophagirls. You cannot steal from them without, you know, getting some undead action. This thing looks so ugly, but by God, I think it's going to work. I think we can make this work, and we can work on what really matters, which is the actual prep stuff. Well, that and fixing dynamic lighting, because obviously that's pretty fucked right now as well. I'm probably going to have to redo like 90% of this. That's okay. We can do that. Yeah, that one's fucked. That one's... Oh, I never put this one on the map layer. Map layer. Map layer. Good tip, by the way. I don't know if Sylvan gave it to me or somebody, but to where I'm working on the token layer, and then once I've got a thing where I want it to be, then I will put it on the map layer. All right, so sarcophagals. That's a good name for a group. Like, I don't know, a group competing in a contest or something. And of course, they're all like undead or goth or something. Let's see. Any chamber has... Oh, there's statues in here. Gonna find good statue art. Map tiles and textures. I did like this little puzzle at the beginning. There's statues on either side of a hallway, which is always red flags for any adventurer. And they do give off detect magic, abjuration magic. They have wooden tokens with a tree engraved upon them. If you exit the chamber, then the spike growth spell is cast over the corridor, which I guess is this whole middle section. But it does not trigger if you are carrying a wooden token. Which I guess you could just like grab them from this. Maybe the statues like offering bowls. People can grab them. I haven't quite. Standing either side of the door are two stone statues of Northlander warriors. Revealed they're both clutching a wooden token in their left hand with a tree engraved upon it. So I'm not supposed to... You're supposed to take their wooden token? Usually you shouldn't steal from statues, but I guess in that case you're supposed to do that. Where can I find a good... Actually, these are too detailed. Less detailed. There we go. These look like they're holding books, but that's fine. Stick them on the map and put them in the corner. And why two of them? No reason. No reason. So it's just a little puzzle thing to avoid a trap. The second room, which is I2 on the left, has the hole in the southwest corner, which drops 10 feet into the river, which I think we can replicate that with just some rubble that I threw on there in that corner. You know what I'm gonna do before we get started too much? Let's actually take... We'll be the Storm Maiden. Let's take the Storm Maiden through this dungeon. No, I shouldn't do that because I haven't done the dynamic lighting at all. It's going to be all fucked up. Well, it'll be fine until I get to like here and there. Alright, so if we want to do that, we need to make sure that I've got vision of this character. And then I can control this character. And this character has dark vision. Let's give you dark vision of 60. Let's give you dark vision of 30. Might be able to see better like that. Why the hell would you emit light? Oh, I guess he's got a torch. Alright, well, if you can emit light, you don't need to have night vision. Alright, so now that I've done that, drag all the players to this one. What I'm trying to do is set it up where yeah, maybe I can just do it from here. I was going to rejoin as player, but this is actually not too bad. Considering I haven't really fixed a lot of dynamic lighting either. Just cruising through the map now. Alright, well I think this works. It's supposed to have... Maybe that's the problem. The rubble isn't above the cliff right here. Figure out what that deal is. Is this on the map layer? There we go. I sent it to front. Okay. Oh, that's right, because I put this guy in front. Although maybe it looks too weird now that it's got bricks above the cliff. Yeah, that doesn't look good. All right, let's... Can we shorten these bricks? Let's do something like that. Yeah, because that does look like an opening. That part looked good, though. Okay, so now it looks like there's, like, rubble overlooking the river. I like that. So this has... The weird thing is, this character... So the reason the bad guys are here is just to loot this guy's tomb, who was an old, like... whatever, Northlander, Viking equivalent. War hero, or whatever his backstory was. Had a folding boat, adamantine scale mail, and a giant slayer sword. This is the opportunity for me to create that sword for Gottwald that's like only good if you're big. Although as written, it's just a regular greatsword that has an extra 2d6 to giants. It feels a little limiting, so maybe I can do some more things with that and make it a generally a better sword, especially if you can really only use it while big or else incurring like disadvantage or something. So I think we can do something cool there. But it's curious that you can actually find the sword here, whereas he's buried down here, and that's where you find the other things. So I'm tempted to actually maybe move one thing down here and make this either, I don't know, like a separate loot pile or something. I don't know. I do want to have something here. It's a shrine to Tempest. But there should be some kind of... I mean, maybe I could... If it's called Shrine of Tempest, why not just put a fucking statue shrine there and have like a magic item in there the parties want to steal? And then what happens is if you take the thing that's here, which is the sword as written, and make a DC 20 con saving throw. I don't know where it comes up with these fucking DC 20s, by the way. I don't think this was scaled for that high. It's insane. On a failed save, taking 40-10 thunder damage, is deafened for a minute. I think that's just the normal glyph of warding. And then after that happens, a bunch of Berserker spirits appear, which are just, I think, the Berserker stat block. With resistance to all damage and magical, and they have magic weapons, I guess. So a bunch of ghosts, Viking ghosts, which I think is fun. A bunch of Berserker stat blocks just appear right next to you. They're very, very simplistic. And clearly they would just be reckless all the time. Only one attack, though, is a bummer. But I guess if you can attack recklessly with 5 people, it's kind of nice. So I'm tempted to keep all that, but I may be changing the loot around. I like the idea of having that super sexy sword. Or whatever it can be. Axe, maybe. Might be appropriate for a Viking warrior. But I'd rather have that be like the marquee item that's actually down here in the main tomb area. So I may change whatever the loot is here. And if it says Shrine to Tempest, then maybe we'll turn this into a cool statue. Still looking at, I'm still on the statue search. I just realized maybe we can create some kind of a statue situation here. I don't know, what does Tempest look like? It doesn't actually say anything in the description about Tempest. It's the same art, just in different. That might work. Just a general statue. I'll have to look up Tempest. Tell which direction this thing's supposed to be facing. I guess that's a foot right there. Obviously make you smaller. Yeah, that could work. So we like that as a kind of a trap room with some monsters. The right side room is just a trap room. And it's a very complex multi-step trap. There's nothing in this fucking room. They just step in there and then bad things happen. Stepping on the flagstone triggers the trap, which acts on initiative 20 and 10. So you're supposed to put everybody in initiative. It's like Tomb of Annihilation style. On initiative 20, poisonous flammable gas fills the room from tiny holes in the columns. Characters in the chamber must succeed a DC 20 con save or become poisoned for a minute. On initiative 10, which is interesting because I guess characters that at least rolled above a 20 can just get that fuck out without anything bad happening. If they roll between a 10 and a 20, they have to deal with the first part, not the second. But then I guess if they roll below 10, they have to then deal with the explosion. 40-10 fire damage. There's nothing in here except a secret door that leads to this river. But the river just leads you right down to here. So it's not like it's a secret to anything. Like, this river just connects to, I mean, and there's nothing stopping you from going straight down. So it's not really a reward to go. So I'm tempted just to get rid of that secret door because it just seems kind of pointless. I will probably keep the trap, though, because that's just hilariously cruel for no reason. The river is where the Storm Maiden is making her way through with her people, which is all spies. I know we talked about using different stat blocks. We used a bunch of different stat blocks whenever we ran the tavern fight. I used a combination of spies and thugs were kind of my go-to for normal dudes, but I also had like a half ogre in there, a wereshark. Probably the Storm Maiden. I'm getting like a Skyrim Viking vibe. I gotta sneeze again. Fuck. I've like hardly been outside today and yet. Ugh. So what is that equivalent of? Like Berserkers, Gladiator? Gladiator's probably too strong. I mean, Berserker might work. It's basically what these are, though. But that's also the problem. They're basically fighting the same thing. An ancient tome says you want to be a lich. There you go, Sabra. There's a cloaker in here, which is really neat. But it's designed where the cloaker attacks the Storm Maiden's party. So the interesting thing is, depending on how I want to do the timing, when the party makes it to I2 and does that whole thing, perhaps they can either see or have one party see the other, as this group is tromping in here. Oops, I need to bring this one to the front, I guess. There we go. Because there's going to be visibility here. They're searching for the magic items buried with Iron Hand, making their way toward area I5 when they're attacked by a cloaker. If the characters don't intervene, the cloaker kills one of the spies before being dispatched. I don't know. Odds are I think a cloaker would take out more than one spy. The river is freezing cold, flows from west to east at a rate of 60 feet per round. That's really fucking fast. and is 5 feet deep. The river is difficult terrain. Characters who fall prone in the water are carried east by the current. So that's kind of interesting. Makes it a bit of a challenge to fight in here, I guess. Some minor loot in the Cloaker's lair up here. So it'd be really fun if the party threw down and then that Cloaker just appeared to attack everybody, although it's not necessarily Cloaker's MO. So yeah, we can definitely use the spy stat block. Let's go back to the tavern, actually. So many dead bodies. Because I used these ones as my spies. I know, it's a really fast river. Like this, the whole place is overtuned. The fact that it's flowing 60 feet per round, that's like the rate of gravity. Like this is a rapid river. And then everything's a DC 20. But then the monsters aren't that strong. So I don't know. It's bizarre the way they landed on some of these balancing decisions. Alright, so we like that one for the spy. Wait, why does my spy have 32 hit points? Are they supposed to have 27? Oh, okay. You know what I must have done? I must have copied one that was above hit point and just pasted that one a bunch of times, so I never actually rolled for hit points. And then do we think Berserker maybe? Said there's Chules outside fighting the Fomorians. I don't know if Chules would be working with the Storm Maiden, but will be repercussions down the road for the dead innocent people. Which dead innocent people are we talking about? The ones from last session? I also need to work on the Storm Maiden stat blocks. I don't know if she was like a gladiator or something. Yeah, from the bar fight. Well, their main repercussion was they literally lost what's his face now? Callus. I was literally planning on having Callus be a a major NPC for them, similar to how like Sambalay was. Somebody who can work with them and they get information from and maybe, comes through in the end or something. And Callus was basically disgusted by their actions, so he left them. Now, on the other hand, and if it were a video game, it'd be like, oh, well, now you don't get this information and you're just locked out. But I don't I still want to have fun doing these doing this content. So I was like, all right, well, he'll throw down the paper that has the information, but that's all you get. So that's the biggest repercussion from my point of view. I mean, yeah, they're probably not welcome in Mintarn anymore, but who fucking cares about that? Like, game campaign wise. She has a Javelin of Lightning and an Arrow Catching Shield. Arrow Catching Shield could be pretty damn good against Mac. Let's look up and see what that one does. She has Second Wind and just regains straight up 20 hit points. Melee weapon deals 1 extra damage of its damage when the Storm Maiden hits with it included in the attack. Wow, yeah. Makes 3 melee attacks or 2 range attacks, and she could do some serious damage with a +7. Okay. So maybe she's a pretty solid stat block, actually. She's a 16 AC, but an 18 against range attacks. She has advantage on saving throws against being charmed or frightened. She's going to get banished, though. We know she's going to get fucking banished. Fuck me up so bad. Can I give all my guys legendary resistance, though? Like, mini bosses, too? Sorry to cough. It's gonna get banished. It's your charisma save, a +2. It's not horrible, but it's not great. F banishment, I know. I know. It's a Berserker. Yeah, Berserker is a CR2. Berserker's weird. It's It's the opposite of fun. Because it has a shit ton of hit points and only has one attack. So it's the opposite of what makes monsters fun, which is making them like glass cannon murder machines that don't last too long. This guy's going to last too long and not do much on its turn and not have much impact, especially if it misses. Now it can do reckless to gain advantage, which means people have advantage on it. We've also got a bunch of berserker spirits up here that they're fighting, so maybe I shouldn't be using the berserker. What else would be a good like Viking thing? Maybe there's some like dwarf stat blocks or something. Eric, just change a generic bandit captain in with wielding an axe. Yeah, I could do that. Bandit's probably too light. Bandit captain might be too big though. Yeah, CR2 with 65 hit points. It's a bit much for a minion. I'm always looking at this. I'm looking like, what is a good baseline minion stat block that's better than a bandit? And it's not just me using a bunch of spies. I mean, I could use a bunch of spies. That's not a bad stat block. Apparently I gave my... Wait, why does the spy have 13 AC? What have I done with this stat block? Double up the boss. So every boss has another one. Well, that's the other big problem, Jason, and you nailed it, is that, yeah, his concentration is sick. Well, I'll tell you, first of all, his AC is fucking sick. He has an AC of 21, the dude who can cast Banishment. So just hitting him is a pain in the ass with anything with an AC of 21. And then if I do manage to hit him, he's got a +8 on his Constitution saving throw. So the dude is built... And here's the thing. You don't want to punish a player for being optimized and having a fun build concept, right? Like, that's cool. He's, like, incredibly good at concentrating and not getting hit. He only has 2 uses of Banishment for the whole, you know, not the whole dungeon, I guess. They could short rest at any time, but yeah, breaking it out of it is basically impossible with those kind of stats. It feels real bad. On the other hand, if he's doing that, he can't do any of these other big concentration spells. He can only do, like, auto attacks. So it's weird. Because on the other hand, like, oh, it's a way for that player to feel like, yeah, I did a cool big thing. But it takes away a big toy for the DM. So it does suck. But I don't want to... I also don't want to deny him on being able to do this, like, every single fight. Just because I don't want to lose my cool playing pieces. But unfortunately, Banishment does effectively neuter the entire boss fight. Because... assuming that he can maintain the banishment for the entire combat round, then it's basically just nullifies the fight, because once the person comes out of it, they can all do their super surprise round and deal probably half their hit points, you know, in one round. And then unless the person is just a complete zealot suicidal, then they basically have to just surrender. Which I really don't have any plans for the Pirate Lords being able to surrender. They probably should surrender, but maybe Tentrix has some kind of hold on them or something that they all die from, like, brain aneurysms. And none of these crews would be particularly supernatural, I think, in terms of, like, having a bunch of, like, deep scions or kind of monster dudes. The Sahuagin captain would probably be the most... have just a bunch of Sahuagin, I guess. So, yeah, maybe just... I could just go spies and thugs. I mean, thug is a generic go-to stat block. But maybe we'll come up with something else. Wow, it's already been an hour. Holy crap. All right, well, the good news is I think we got the physical map part of it done. Thankfully, I did, like, 60% of it, 70% of it before we actually started the stream. So we don't have to worry about that. On Thursday, we'll have to worry about the individual balancing and make sure we get all the tokens and loot and everything situated. And really, we need to come up with a map for the outside, because I do think that warrants an interesting situation where it mentions the fact that a bunch of Fomorians are locked in battle with some Chul. I may replace Chul with something else. We'll see. As a distraction, I like the idea also that the Fomorians, they protect this place, but they don't go down here. They really can't fit, and they just don't really understand the significance, but they just think it's a cool place to, like, have as their main, I don't know, some place that they guard. But they're locked in battle outside and fighting some creatures, and that's what allowing the storm main to be able to get into this underground river and reach the inside. So maybe the party has some kind of weird moment where they just fight everybody, or they rescue the Fomorians and maybe talk to them or something. So we can do that a little bit, but that probably warrants another battle map outside of this dungeon, and then we do the dungeon itself. This may take 2 sessions. It's probably way too bold on my end to think that we can do this all in one session. If we're looking at 3, possibly 4 total battles, the Sword Wraith Commander's a big, maybe semi-boss fight at the end. So is the Storm Maiden. So probably going to take us, probably like 2 sessions. All right, but I think that will do it for this session of Crafting the Deep. As always, if you enjoy the content, please check out patreon.com/RogueWatson. Shout out to Planet Patrons: Joe, Will, Thomas, Dan, Brennan, Xenocider, Eclectic, Roleplayer, Christopher, Corey, Big Nut, John F, John L, Tyler, Nathan, Camp Crystal, Counselor, Andrew, Dale, The Reldrin, Stephanie, Patrick, Jason, Ismail, Amit, Lumpy, Spudge, Sharni, Warden, Harold, Sam, Eudaimonia, LLC, Jamie, Reese, Tom, and Lucius, and Gold Patrons: RPG Paper Crafts, Pretty Boy, and Yuma, Dead Lizard Lounge, Jerome, Nathan, Fast Like a Tortoise, Scott, Rufus, Karen, Jerry, Glenn, Marcus, and Mark. Thank you all very much for your support. I'll see you for more crafting on Thursday.